Let's go. It's real to me. We're back again. Today we've got a very special guest, the man himself, the Grim Reaper, Big Cheech. How are
Yes,
we?
yes, yes. I'm good, mate. I'm
He's
good.
in
How
the
you
court.
doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's real to me. Yeah, it's still real to me as
He's got
well.
the
Yeah,
Stone Cold tee on.
I got
He's
the
showing me
Stone
up. I've
Cold
come
tee
just
on,
a
yeah.
Nike Air. I'm just promoting capitalism. He's promoting straight graps.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. I thought about it before we left, and I thought I better put on. I've got this. I've got a Great Muta Supreme top. I'm gonna throw that on, but I don't. I'm aware. I mean, I like that because it's a cool top and a cool design. But me wearing a Great Muta top, it'd be like someone in a Nirvana top. If you asked them their favorite song, it'd be "Smells Like Teen Spirit." That's really like my knowledge.
We're
of
Stone Cold.
Muta.
We've got all the class.
Yeah, we're good with that. We're good with that. It's fine. It's fine.
Absolutely. But how are you? You've recently dropped a new project,
So, yeah.
Acolytes. Very wrestling based. Let's get into that. You and Double O.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time in the making. We made a much more conceptual album that was really like we were Farouk and Bradshaw.
Oh, that's so
Because that doesn't really need explaining, does it? But that's where the Acolytes thing came from.
yeah.
So yeah, we made it produced by Recluse, but just never quite got it over the line. I'm kind of glad looking back because it was dope, but like the production was obviously sick. But like a couple of years later, we've like resurrected it, and it's still very much wrestling kind of inspired or whatever, but it's a bit less of a kind of. It's a bit more of a vibe and a bit less of a strict concept, which I think is just a bit better.
Have you still got that somewhere? I'd be interested in it.
I'll try and dig out. Yeah, I must have some bits of it somewhere. Yeah. There's some gems on there definitely, but I don't know, like a full concept like that, it can be a bit restrictive in the end.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think even doing like a wrestling podcast, you realise that you want to be a bit more of a vibe as well and kind of expand it.
So it's been good to evolve it because it's kind of like I equate it to like Wu-Tang, like the kind of kung fu iconography and stuff like that. Informs a lot of it, but it's kind of mixed with their like Staten Island or street shit or whatever it is. So it's kind of like, and ours is the same. It's like it's Attitude Era wrestling, but it's also mank hip hop, and it's a nice blend of the two. So yeah,
are you massively Attitude Era as a?
No, not at all. I mean, it's kind of
because that's where everyone kind of goes. But I think myself and producer Mike, who's off camera, we've had conversations about this in the past, and I think even Rob Drake, who came on last time, he spoke about he spoke really positively about like ruthless aggression and stuff like that.
So
it was a bit I jumped in like 03, 04, so it's I can watch back fondly, but how was it like being a fan?
Yeah, I remember watching the tail end of. I would have probably started watching '99, so kind of like people kind of say like 2000's the end, I guess, of the Attitude Era. I mean, Invasion's 2001 in it, so it's kind of around that. Even like '99 was kind of like it wasn't on the downward. It was definitely it was towards the peak of the upward trajectory. It was they had to kind of flip back from WCW, hadn't they?
Yeah, I think they've kind of turned the corner a bit. And
I mean, my memory of that time is like definitely Attitude Era. Definitely, there was a period where Channel 4 got the rights for WWF.
I've heard this.
You had Sunday Night Heat, and they had pay-per-views. I think was it Royal Rumble 2000 that had the street fight with Cactus Jack and Triple H.
Yeah,
or was it 2001? And it had the bikini contest with Cat, I think, amongst other. The street fight was obviously more of a highlight, but yes, that was on.
But you don't remember it for the bikini contest?
That was on Channel 4. Although I think that was part of the problem. So Channel 4, just this is popular. Just put it on whatever, not knowing some of the stuff that would go on. So stuff like
was it Insurrection that was in London? Because I'm sure that was on Channel 4.
Yeah,
so they tried to kind of edge towards.
But yeah, I do. I remember, and I had a VHS recording of Royal Rumble, so that was on Channel 4. So that was kind of peak. And then at the same time, WCW was actually on Channel 5. So I do remember watching a lot of WCW growing up.
Because that's meant to me like having. Because I think throughout my life as a wrestling fan, there's never really been a set like TNA was sick, but TNA was very.
I mean, the other thing about WCW about that time as well is they toured the UK, which WWF didn't massively. So, like you said, there was interaction. They had the odd non-canon pay-per-view. There was a version of No Mercy in Manchester, weirdly. The same year as the Hardy Boys ladder match, I think. But it was called the No Mercy pay-per-view, but it's almost like non-canon pay-per-view. It's weird.
Like a B-side.
So yeah, they didn't actually tour the UK. Whereas WCW, it was like the year 2000, so it was very bad. But I remember seeing it at the arena. I remember seeing, I think, Goldberg. I remember seeing Norman Smiley in a hardcore match.
Shit.
I can't remember much beyond that. It wasn't memorable.
Because I hear a lot of like UK-based wrestling fans who much prefer WCW, and I could never really work out why, like looking back. Yeah, but that makes more sense if they were actually...
I would say I never preferred it, but it was more accessible. Because, yeah, as I was saying, there was a period where WWF at the time was on Channel 4, but because of stuff like the bikini contest and things like that, they very quickly were like, actually, we're not going to show that. Which is weird, because Channel 4 is generally quite, like...
They got fucking Naked Attraction.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not like, they're not particularly like uptight about those sorts of things.
They're
it's 1 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Like, but anyway, so that I would watch wrestling at my grandma's because she had ITV digital at the time, so you could watch SmackDown and Raw. But I'd see more WCW because it was on Channel 5. So yeah. That would be why I was watching it. It definitely wasn't better at that time.
That's such a period of access, like to have that all on like free TV, because I only ever knew it on Sky.
Yeah,
and that, like, we got Sky and we were like the bloody royalty of the neighbourhood. When you get that dish up on the wall, people start looking at you a bit differently and start wanting to come over. You've got the bloody digibox going through another TV in the fucking other room, and then your dad starts putting rugby league on when fucking SmackDown's on. Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean, it's all kinds of shit. But just to be able to actually just sit and, as you say, it might be 1 a.m, but just put on free TV, we need a bit of that back. But how do you think it all compares to like modern day? I know we've had brief chats about WrestleMania that's just gone by.
Yeah, so I am like the definition or a definition of a lapsed fan at the minute. I think you have like a couple of types of lapsed fans. Some who just like fall out of love with it and forget it exists.
Yeah.
And others who I still love it. It occupies a massive part of my brain. It's something I think about a lot. I still consume a lot of kind of media around it, whether it's documentaries or podcasts. You can't like... I'm very aware still. This is the thing. I haven't watched a WWE event in years. I kind of remember when the Saudi stuff first started, just felt a bit icky.
Yeah.
And like, we probably all have some hypocrisies around these sort of things. So like, full disclosure, I'm a City fan. So
Me too.
There are similar icky question marks around City's owners. I can't walk away from that in the same way. That's more embedded. That's like a family thing. And the club kind of, I don't know, it's a different thing anyway, because there is the club and then there is like the current ownership. There are like there's the community.
That can change as well. Like the ownership can change very quick.
Whereas with like WWE and the way that they... And I guess it's different in football if you bought out. This is not to like defend City's owners in any way. And it's not really the point. But yeah, with WWE, it's like, they've gone out and sought the blood money.
Yeah.
And it's not a business that is particularly like virtuous or ever has been particularly virtuous anyway. So it's not like... Yeah, I guess it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. It wasn't like I thought that these were good people operating in good faith, but it was just like too much.
Yeah, because I guess when you kind of...
I think when they first went was around the time that journalists got chopped up as well. Like, I can't remember. I think it was around the same time. So it was a bit like... Anyway, it is what it is. So that was... At that time, I was still like a network subscriber.
Yeah.
Up until... Probably around that time, NXT was still really good because I loved NXT when the network first started, and like the kind of the period on the Triple H essentially that was like where all the modern or a lot of the modern roster came through, all the big stars. But yeah, I've stopped watching it, so I've not been watching it since then. That's like what, 5, 6, maybe more years. I didn't watch any of like Lockdown, for example. I'd stopped before then. All this to say that I still know what's going on because you can't escape it because it's everywhere. Like it's
social. You can watch it all just through your Instagram, can't you? If you kind of tapped in enough.
I think is one of my problems with it, and like the kind of one of the problems with the product. And I did, when we first scheduled this, it was closer to WrestleMania, so I started watching WrestleMania for this year. And after we rearranged, I was like, well, I don't need to do this anymore, and I did stop because I didn't. Because they have this like hyper focus on moments now, and that's all they care about is moments. Moments have always been a massive part of wrestling, like Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it's mythology and everything else anyway. Like a lot of it is like kind of, it's more than the moment. That's the point. And also it's like the bits in between the moments are what makes the moment. So if you kind of just focused on the moment itself, I feel like everything else is just falling by the wayside.
Well, like how are we building to a moment? I think we had a brief discussion on it, like in terms of WrestleMania for me should always be the payoff. That's your
it's the season
Super Bowl.
Ender. And I know the season
that's
starts.
your FA Cup final. That's your Champions League. In whatever sport, whatever way you want it, that's where someone stands out at the end and you're like, yeah, we'll go again on Monday night. And see Cody Rhodes, and for that to be paid off in a way of like he just retains and then they go on to have another match. It's like that shouldn't WrestleMania shouldn't be building something.
Yeah.
Randy Orton shouldn't be kicking him in the head at the end of that. He should be kicking him in the head in January.
Yeah.
In February, in March. Yeah. And then in April, Cody goes, nah, fuck that. It's about time to actually stand up now and retain or lose.
And WrestleMania,
that would have been a fucking moment, and then he wins it back, or you've got the thrill of the chase again. And
it is like the end of the season of wrestling, if you like. But obviously, wrestling continues the very next day.
Yeah,
so that's fine. But it is like, and it always has been since it's existed. It's always been the end. Like that's what everything works towards. That's why everyone points to the sign. Like,
and then you've got like every fucker now is on the phone backstage to someone about this mystery guy, and then it's fucking Pat McAfee, and then afterwards you've got Jacob he's on the phone to someone. Who's it going to be? And it's probably going to be another mental Samoan.
The celeb tie-ins, and it's like, all right, there's a Street Fighter movie coming, so I'm assuming like Scorpion's going to have a match with someone or something. Like it's all kind of It's all just like too much. I try and be wary. One, because I don't watch as I've already said, so I can't be like overcritical because it's like I can't form a full opinion on it if I've not watched it, and that's fair enough. But I'm also like conscious of like maybe it is better for kids now. Like maybe like it's fine. Like it's always been geared towards kids. Like I know the Attitude Era was like about boundary pushing, but wrestling's always like,
well, it's kids that still,
it's universal, and people of all ages. But obviously the kids love the giant muscle men. Like, what?
Well, the kids are the ones that are going to go to school and tell the other kids that are like, nah, that shit's fake. They're going to say, no, it's fucking real. And I'm
always like, I'm always wary of like, or maybe it's just like, it's because it's not trying to cater to me. But I think they're trying to cater to everyone, aren't they? And that's maybe the problem.
Cater to no one, and I think that's, if you try and please everyone, it's just like.
And I do think like social media and kind of streaming, wrestling's always been about like response, isn't it? Like, well, to some extent, they will push who they want to push, but like the kind of they will always eventually respond to what the crowd's doing, whether it's like during a match or over a feud. But this kind of instant response and the kind of analytics, and you can tell how obsessed like Triple H is about that sort of stuff, who I think gets like a lot of flack that he maybe doesn't deserve because he was an arsehole, essentially. But I think creatively he's better than people give him credit for, but it's just too Do
you think there's too many? Again, I know you're not like an avid watcher, but even like behind the scenes, like you've got the TKO stuff now. Dana White's somehow kind of half involved. Friend. we've got a pod dropping where Mike fucking shit from a great eye on Dana White. But that's to come. Because like as I watched the first night, and then I got norovirus, and that was probably more fun than watching that first night, because it was just a fucking, everything just felt like the best part of the first night was watching Speed jump from a fucking, which is just, look, that's fine, as you say, that's a moment, good for him. There's people on that card that, like, I know we spoke about kind of schedules and how people's schedules are up and down, but there's people doing that day in, day out, that are probably sat there jerking the fucking curtain while someone gets their moment for viral clicks and views, and it's like.
And I get why, like, yeah.
Obviously,
it's easy to say, well, like, because kids love speed and they all stream his stuff, and that's why. And I'm sure they did all love it, but yeah, it's like what.
But then on Monday night he's not there.
Yeah, and where's the quality?
Who is there?
Where's
Do you know
the quality
what I mean?
control? And I love that the kind of businesses open the door, and I love that's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. Is like because I don't watch like any like current product, but I'm fascinated by the behind the scenes of it. So the only thing that WWE have put out in recent years that I have watched was the Unreal documentary, and I do love watching the booking meetings, like love seeing how it all comes together. Like that's amazing. But
I don't know if I'm just a mad conspiracist, but do you think that is a way of trying to get like the toothpaste back in the tube a bit?
Yeah.
In terms of they'll let you see what they want you to see.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, right, this booking meeting's going to go on Unreal. So this going to tell this, and then afterwards they'll have a real fucking.
There's other meetings where that giant bottle that Triple H is drinking out of gets launched across the table.
Yeah,
like, it's not.
And I can imagine because he's not just like this guy who's just like because I mean he fired his a fucking road dog got fucking left by the wayside, and that's supposed to be his boy. You're just like fuck him. But I mean he was literally in every meeting just like crying about truth
and just having bad ideas generally.
If you are shit at your job, you probably will get sacked whether it's your boy or not, I guess. But
but they're obviously still showing you what they want to show you. But just in general, I feel like I don't know.
People always love that though. Like
it's a protected business in it, and it's like these things happened in the Attitude Era as well, and it was part of the success of the NWO. But it very quickly
Wrestling with Shadows was was that the Bret Hart one?
Yeah, I mean the celebrity involvement.
Yeah.
But like that too though, that documentary is amazing. But in terms of celebrity involvement, like it worked. Like Rodman was massive. They very quickly like jumped the shark with it. It was too much pretty quickly, wasn't it? So like the lesson is like celebrity involvements are fine and they've always existed, but it's like use them sparingly. Like stop.
I think that's what Vince McMahon did. He knew when it was kind of, and there was always like a moment for it or like a spot, like Floyd Mayweather in the Big Show.
I was about to say that. I was like fighting saying that.
Yeah, like obviously that's big and like an element of realness, especially him actually cracking his nose.
What was his name? Stephen Amell. Is it?
Yeah,
Arrow.
Because he did.
That was like that.
Didn't he do the Stardust? He was doing the Cody Rhodes before. Cody Rhodes.
So that's when I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think. There are probably examples before, but that was like, oh right, you're having a match at WrestleMania now, and then it's like, it's just kind of increased exponentially from then. And I think it's reached a tipping point where it's too much. Like, why is Jelly Roll featuring in consecutive
you literally saw off camera before you were like, I don't need to see.
I don't mind like Logan Paul. Fair enough. He's like a freakish athlete. So like,
but he's doing it. He's there weekly. Like he's kind of
he's a Disney kid. Like he's a star. Like I don't like him, but like that's fine.
But that's a part of wrestling.
Like the Miz was in the real world. Like it don't matter. That's fine. Like and it probably influenced and informed and helped him like in the long run. So like that's fine. And I Show Speed, did do a pretty good.
I think he's sold everything really well, everything he's done so far.
And like when he got speared by Bron Breakker, it was great.
That was great.
But
that must have fucking hurt though. Like
when you see like the releases, it's just like, well, what? Why was there no room for the New Day? Like I know, like they botched them with the. I don't know.
It's been hard since Big E kind of broke his neck, I guess. Yeah. But you could still make it work.
I thought the heels. This is what I mean. I see clips and stuff. I thought the heel stuff seemed to be pretty good. Like,
and then
I don't think they should be heel, but you know.
But then it just kind of fell off a cliff. But then you make way for them to tell a story where they kind of work their way back to not being that. I feel like there's almost too much going on because they've got such a monopoly. Like WrestleMania's now 2 nights, SummerSlam's now 2 nights.
That's ruined it as well and cheapened it. And that's the other thing. I
looked at night 1 and I thought, I'm just gonna wait for night 2. And funnily enough, night 2 was actually quite good.
CM Punk really happy that? Well, he did headline like night 2 this time.
Because first time he got night 1.
That was on that Unreal, and it was like he finally did it. You headline WrestleMania. It's like didn't really though, did you?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're in the middle of the card, like.
If Triple H was still wrestling, do you think he'd be on the first night, or do you think he'd be on the second night?
I think after Hogan and Rock. So I just think, and that leaves a a bit of a bad taste. Like if you've not got room for Woods and Kofi, like how have you got room for Jelly Roll and Speed? I don't get that. There's other people who get, like, there's releases all the time, isn't there? There's releases of wrestlers who are good. There's releases of wrestlers who, it hasn't worked out. Like, haven't seen any of him this time round. I always thought Aleister Black was good.
Yeah.
There's obviously, to be fair, there's obviously like a problem with him because...
Or like a disconnect or something.
Yeah, so...
But it always tends to be like...
Sometimes it's down to the wrestler, like the personality more than like the ability, so that's fine. Like, but yeah, I don't
European wrestlers as well. Sometimes it clicks and sometimes it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, I think the product is kind of, there's all that to say that it kind of lacks focus. I think there's too much going on.
And the fact that we can watch it through social media, whereas actually a few times, especially before WrestleMania, I'd sit and watch a full SmackDown or a full Raw, like maybe in the morning while I'm doing fucking housework or something like that. And you're like, I'm not really kind of understanding.
I don't feel uninformed on what's happening in WWE. Like I know,
and you can just sit and watch it.
Yeah, Roman's going to wrestle Jacob.
Yeah,
and there's issues with the bloodline as a result,
as there have been for the past.
Seth and Braun, which great. They're great. They're both great. I'm sure that'll be good. Braun Breaker's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like Gunther, I think I spoke a lot about.
Yeah.
And now he's in the title picture again. But why could that not have been WrestleMania? Why is he doing that now?
That's an issue, and I know they're more bothered about the numbers and to get the numbers. So I guess none of this matters to WWE at the moment because they are doing well and they're doing good business. But I love wrestling. Like, I'm aware that the roster at the minute is really good. Like the talent in the talent pool they've got is incredible. And like I said, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker's happening at Backlash. I have no interest in watching it. Like, I just like.
And that's the thing now. I think there'll just be a gap until SummerSlam.
Yeah,
which is sad.
So how is it not interesting when you've got all these great moving parts and like, so that's what I mean. So it's I think that points to a real creative issue.
I think someone needs to take, like, when Vince was there, as much as a fucking maniac he was, it was his show.
Yeah.
And everything went through him no matter what. Whereas even when you watch the Unreal stuff, it's like there's just a lot of people saying a lot of things, and then last minute it's like, okay, we'll just change this quickly. And that's happened before. Things have changed on the fly. But
wrestling's almost never like ahead of the curve. Like, that's not, especially like professional wrestling and like televised wrestling, like, so it's fine, that's fine, but it's like, there used to be, this isn't just like Attitude Era kind of nostalgia, but like, because I also think like a lot of the Attitude Eras, there's lots of it that's overhyped as well. If you like sit and watch like your average Raw from the Attitude Era, it's a bit like all over the place.
Yeah.
But it feels like there'd be attempts to push the envelope a bit, and that at any time where it's been good, not just the Attitude Era, like in the 80s, like when it was good, like in the NWA or whatever. Like,
here's a question then: is what Cena did throughout that kind of PG time actually more impressive because of the constraints that were on him? Because you watch some of the kind of TV stuff and stuff like that, and it's very like, it's as you say, it's very for kids.
Yeah.
But if you look at you look at like WrestleMania when that was a big deal every year.
Yeah.
Him and The Rock, or not just him, like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, the streak throughout that time, like you watch it back now with such fondness, but at the time everyone had such like a gripe about this is fucking. It's PG shit, and they're not saying anything. It all feels very like Fruity Pebble and Mirror, but it holds up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it's like, the PG stuff is like, it's by the by anyway, isn't it? Like, I don't know. Again, that's people like misremembering what is good about the Attitude Era, for example. Like, so it's all like ECW, all these things that people like put on a pedestal. Again, if you actually sit and watch like majority of ECW shows, there's some great stunts and stuff. It's awesome. Like, you feel the energy and stuff, but a lot of it's like quite dated. Like, the crowds and stuff, which I remember looking at the time thinking like it looks amazing. Again, it's like, yeah, well, it's probably good that it's not like that anymore. Like,
yeah, probably good that, I mean, yeah, on one of the
bringing weapons for you to use,
because we spoke about Dark Side of the Ring, haven't we?
Yeah,
and how good that is, and they're watching the New Jack one.
Oh, the mass transit incident.
You've got that, and there's one where he falls from like a fucking scaffold. He's like, he had brain fluid coming out of his. You don't want to go to work and then come home and you've got brain fluid coming out of your nose. It's like, it's a bit.
So I remember as a kid always being like, yeah, wrestling's fake, but ECW is real. Like that's what that was like the accepted wisdom of the time. Like, so yeah, it's Dark Side of the Ring. That was a thing that we spoke about. That's something I really, really enjoy. Kind of anything like that. I guess like it's probably like 15 years ago when all the retired wrestlers started doing podcasts. Like,
but it was all a bit like
I used to listen to Austin's podcast a lot, Jericho's podcast, JR's, Ric Flair did one with Conrad before Conrad was like properly Conrad.
Oh yeah.
You know, the guy who does like,
he does loads.
With Bruce, what's his name, and I forgot his name. So yeah, and that was like, oh, this is amazing. They're telling like the kind of behind the scenes stuff, and you kind of, again, no one's telling the whole truth, are they? But then Dark Side of the Ring like expands on that in a massive way. I'm
a big Jim Cornette guy, so I like how involved he is.
The Talking Heads, the Talking Heads are great. And again, like there's some truth in most of what's being said, and there's probably a lot of bullshit as well, but it's very entertaining and it's fast. There's fascinating stuff. So if you've not watched Dark Side of the Ring, I'd recommend it. There's like
how many series?
6 now, I think. And what I did the first time round was like I just went from first series to like maybe the 4th was out at the time. Just picked out like anything that I've got like some awareness of.
Yeah, and kind of expand on it.
Because that's always really interesting, finding out what really happened. There's obviously some really dark stuff on there. There's like Owen Hart's passing, Benoit's, obviously. Yeah. That's the only one I'll watch that one. I'll never watch that one again. There's some other like heart-wrenching stuff, like Jake the Snake that's pretty brutal as well.
But his kind of resurgence as well, though, is like
it's lovely to see how well he's doing.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just kind of filled in the gaps, and there's just so much.
The Bruiser Brody one got stuff. Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah,
that's really dark. Like going into the locker room and just getting.
Puerto Rican wrestling's like, and again, that's like back in the day listening to those podcasts, like Ric Flair would talk about Puerto Rico quite a lot.
Because he used to wrestle like Carlito's dad, didn't he? Carlos Colon.
And he just said it was a dangerous place to be, like, dangerous place to wrestle. So,
especially when you're wrestling, I mean, Ric Flair, probably a bit of a heel at the time, but going over there to wrestle their kind of hometown guys, do not fuck about.
There's like loads of good stuff. There's like there's loads of there's various ECW ones. There's Sandman is a really good one. New Jack, like we mentioned.
Did Sandman bring something out recently as well? Because I'm sure he was on like a talk show very recently.
I've not seen him.
He's very interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
They all are like. Do you mention Raven's one?
Raven's one's incredible.
Yeah,
it's not a dark side. That's his own. I need to tap into that because that sounds incredible.
Because he's someone that's often regarded as having like one of the best minds for the business as well, isn't he?
Like really underrated. I think
he had some great. It was like some of the storylines that he wanted to use. I remember listening to him on Colt Cabana's podcast back in the day, and he had like a 7 Deadly Sins like idea. I can't remember if it was when he went to WCW from ECW. He never got to do, but again, just listening to like the thinking behind it is pretty great. So that's kind of my bag at the moment, is those sorts of things, is like any behind the scenes stuff, or like I guess any nostalgia stuff as well. I do enjoy. Like,
it's weird because it's on Netflix at the minute, but only in like selective little bits, whereas the network was like everything.
Yeah,
you could go so far and wide, and them days.
And it was just great. Again, it's their telling of the story. So they had like the kind of Attitude Era documentary about WCW versus
the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, Monday Night Wars. Yeah. And it's like, well, yeah.
Well, it's the victors telling the story.
Exactly. Because I would like to watch more of that era of WCW when they were on top. Like, because I don't have loads of exposure to it. But like I said, I was watching a lot of it as a kid. But at that point, it was like I think that's when Russo was in, and it was like
a bit later on than
it was. Yeah, and it was
not
bad.
like Nash and Hall first going over. And
no, it was like very much the downfall of WCW.
That's the thing. I don't know. I guess when you grow up just a WWE guy, it's hard to kind of throw yourself into something that never existed.
Yeah,
throughout your kind of time of watching,
and even like even conceptually, even like the kind of style of show and the style of wrestling probably is kind of quite.
But then some individual matches are like you got Ray and Eddie and like
the
Halloween
Luchador,
Havoc, they were the first on the cruiserweight scene, weren't they? And stuff like that. It's like
they were very well. They were innovative in a mainstream sense, but like it was like, and it's fine. That's part of like producing a good product or whatever you want to call it. That was part of like Eric Bischoff's job. But like the NWO, for example, was like it had been done in Japan, hadn't it? Or a similar sort of storyline. And like the cruiserweights definitely was like, and the Luchadors was kind of lifted from ECW really, because they were doing, and all those guys were there first. Like Ray and Eddie were at ECW first, weren't they? Like before WCW.
Jericho's in little bits, and he did a lot in Japan.
But they got a lot of airtime, despite maybe not getting the respect they deserved. There was like loads of stuff. So like the Jericho Man of 1,000 Holds, like that is so good. Like
come back from the break and he's just got a list as long as your arm like that. It's fucking Man of 1,004 holds.
Yeah, so I guess because my brother, it's what's interesting when you started watching wrestling, I just started getting back into it at that time because my brother's about the same age as you two. Yeah. So like. And at that point, we did have Sky, so I was just like, yeah, I'll watch it with you. So yeah, that kind of tail end of the Ruthless Aggression era.
So did you kind of stop after Attitude and just kind of...
Stopped, yeah. It was like after the invasion, before the NWO came to WWE, as it was.
Because even that time gets looked on really fondly, but...
Yeah, the invasion I enjoyed, because again, I was like aware of a lot of these WCW guys.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then very quickly it was like, oh, well, Sting's not here and Goldberg's not here and Hall and Nash aren't here and Hulk Hogan's not here.
So you just kind of scooped up.
Who's here? The Radicals had already moved over at that point. So like WWF had already taken most of the best of the rest.
That's
from
it.
WCW.
I guess people kind of jump shit before it died anyway, didn't they?
So I guess I stopped watching around then, 2001, 2002. And then, I remember coming back. There was the Royal Rumble where the promo of it was like all Hollywood, like, and it was like
where they were all doing different movie scenes. Yeah, I think that's 2004 or 5.
Yeah, we had that on DVD. I remember that one.
Triple H was doing like Braveheart.
Yeah. A load of them were doing West Side Story. Yeah. So I do vaguely remember. Yeah, I would have watched a bit of Ruthless Aggression as well, actually, because I do remember when Lesnar came on the scene. And just feeling like, what is this guy?
Steroid the man.
But yeah, I was at that point. I was kind of fading, and then it stopped completely. And then I started a bit. But yeah, so you were never like TNA, because TNA is probably that era. No, I
really, because on Sky they had some like mad like extreme sports wrestling type channel deep in like the 400s. And one, I think I was off school sick, and I was just it was on at like 10 a.m. and I was like, wrestling, because I was just big on anything. And I turned it on and I was like, fuck me, they had the 6-sided ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a bit different.
Samoa Joe. And
that's what I mean,
Kurt Angle.
This was even pre-Kurt. I think this was like 05, so it would have been when I think Kurt was just coming towards the end of WWE. Right. I think they just signed Christian, which... didn't feel massive, but it felt massive the way they kind of booked it and the way he kind of came out was like shit. Because obviously he was like a mid-card kind of guy at best.
Yeah.
In Edge's shadow. And then he went there. I was like, okay, this is a... And then Booker T went, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah.
But they kind of had these guys you'd never seen. Like, seeing someone like Samoa... I was always a big lad even when I was young. Seeing someone like Samoa Joe fly about, even though he's such like just a big guy.
He's been the best since he's been about, and he's Samoa Joe. It's like, unreal at everything.
That thing of just like no selling people that are like midair.
Yeah, I love it.
So good.
Sick,
wrestling, promo, like all of it, full package. He's believable, like.
That's it, believable, and
I love that he's the only Samoan that's not part of like any dynasty as well. Like he's just Samoa Joe, like just that's it.
It's surprising he's not kind of been pulled into.
Not related to any of them.
No, but like even just on like a gimmick kind of.
Yeah.
No one's kind of thought,
Well, maybe that's why he stayed away from WWE for so long, because...
Well, that's a real Samoan dynasty at the minute. It's like...
But also, I mean, by the time he came over and went to NXT, it was in like better hands to like manage him properly as Samoa Joe, wasn't it?
So before we wrap up, I've got one final question, which came to me around this morning, especially after us as City fans kind of bottling it yesterday. If you were like the Paul Heyman and you were pulling together like a Survivor Series kind of 5-on-5, you had to pick 5 of anyone in City's history to go with you. In terms of a faction you're going up against. We're going up against United, Survivor Series 5-on-5. Who are we pulling?
He's going straight in there, isn't he?
Big nutcase.
Big Norwegian, yeah.
Because I'm talking everything like ability to work, but ability to actually kind of rile someone up, chat a bit of shit, cut a good promo.
Yeah. De Jong.
That's a great
shout. Putting De Jong straight in there.
That's a great shout.
Yeah. Enforcer. I want to try and vary the team. It'd be easy to just pick a load of like
nutcases.
Yeah, because Andy Morrison is kind of comes to mind as well. But
seeing him in real life, he's a fucking unit as well. When we came out of the derby the other year and we literally bumped into him, he's such a fucking tank.
Yeah. No, we'll have Haaland, we'll have De Jong. Probably need some like I'm gonna put David Silva in there. He'd be like Bryan Danielson kind of style technician, and the kind of, or like even like, you know, Zack Sabre Jr., like British wrestling style, like, you know, the holds and all that good stuff to catch him, kind of wrestling style. So yeah, get Silver in there pulling the strings, almost like Mysterio-esque as well. Obviously, he's not a high flyer necessarily, but yeah, I think he's a
bit of sauce.
Yeah, he's got the technique, can he? I have to put Bernardo Silva in there as well, actually, thinking about it. So taking a bit of a gamble having the two little men.
The two Silvers.
Good tag team.
Good tag team. And yeah, he's a shit house. He's a proper shit house. So yeah, we got Haaland, we got De Jong, we got both Silvers. Yeah, I guess Andy Morrison. I could go further back, but that's then before my time. So it's kind of, I can't think of anyone obvious anyway. So I think I'm going to go for Andy Morrison.
That's a big 5.
Yeah, it's a pretty good team, I reckon. And I can take a few bumps here and there. Do you know what I mean? I can get involved.
The Heyman bump.
Yeah.
a few under the nut shot.
Yeah, no, I'd back it against any of United's lot. Bring Roy Keane. Tell him to bring his lunch and his dinner. Haaland will sort him out.
Oh, you could have had Erling and Alfie.
It's been brewing, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who I'd have. I think Erling's a pretty obvious shout. I'm trying to think of any. I mean,
I've named 2 from the modern team, but yeah, generally you wouldn't think of the current City team.
I reckon Anelka could be good for a bit of a. He seems like a bit of a hard man. Joey Barton's a cunt. He'd be there's a heel.
I mean, he has a track record, cunt. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
but yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Usman Darbo handled him though, apparently. So he did get a cigar part on his eye. That's very heel. That's nasty,
very. That is nasty.
But no, if you've got a 5 of any of your team, your selected team, and if it's not City, then fuck off. If it's Arsenal especially, then fuck off. But
they'd have a few good in Arsenal.
I know, a few nutcases. Tony Adams and Martin Keown. Ugh. Anyway, my brother Cheech, it's been a pleasure to chop it up with you as always.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
it's your first time, but hopefully it won't be your last time.
Yeah, and I can commit to actually watching some modern wrestling if required, because I do love talking about the graps.
And if you've got any modern wrestling for us to watch, email it's realtome1@gmail.com and we will sit down and watch it.
Lovely jubbly.
When we're not being parents. My brother.
Oh, actually, yeah. If you've got any like entry-level, kid-friendly wrestling shows, either wrestling or wrestling-related shows. I know they used to do that WWE Slam City. Anything like that.
The Scooby-Doo one as well.
Yeah, just to kind of tangentially get my daughter into it would be cool as well. So yeah, just send them over. Send them in, because yeah, my daughter's getting to that age now where we need to start indoctrinating her. So, but yeah, as always, if it's real to you, it's real to me. Thank you for watching. Cheech, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much.